Welcome to part 2 of our video series about passwords and password security. Now in video 1 you've probably learned already about 1Password, the password manager that we use here at membermeister. And today I want to show you a technique for creating a really secure master password that's also fairly easy to remember. So hopefully this will be the only password you'll ever need. The guys at 1Password have kindly put together what is called a dice list, which is a technique really to create a random password made up of basically random words. Now they've created a list and it looks like this that has 16 different language files inside. And by the way, you'll be able to download this either from the video or the blog post. We'll include the link there. So in order to create a random password, you need a random method for selecting those words. So we use a dice, but I'll show you a website as well where you can kind of roll a virtual dice to randomly select first one of these language files and then a particular word inside the file. And you do that 3 or 4 times depending on how long you want your master password to be. So for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to use a 3-word master password. So first step would be to pick the language, and I'm going to do that now, and then we'll pick a word. So I will first roll the dice a few times and mark down the results, and then I'll come back and pick the words. So I recommend you go to the website wolframalpha.com. It's a computational search engine, but it can do much simpler stuff as well, like generating random numbers. So first of all, we need to pick 3 different language files. So I'm going to just type in here random number between 1 and 16, because 16 is the amount of files that we've got. And then I'll make a note of that. So, okay, the first one is 16. Then I'm just going to do that again. Just hit return again. Now we've got 6. And then one more time. And I've got 12. So we're going to pick the language file 16, the language file 6, and the language file 12. So now that we've picked our 3 language files, or now that we've got the numbers for those 3 language files, we need to roll a dice 5 times, and we need to do that 3 times. And Wolfram Alpha can help us with that as well. So we can say roll 5 dice, scroll down to the bottom of that page, and here's our combination. So we've got 6, 2, 3, 6, 6. So I'm going to make a note of that. 6, 2, 3, 6, 6. And then we do that 2 more times because we want to create a 3-word passphrase or master password. This time it's 61446. And obviously this first one goes with the first language we've picked. The second one goes with the second language we've picked, and then we do it one more time. So just hit return again here, and then the last combination is 54543. Now it's important that we do it like this because due to the randomness of the dice, there is no way somebody else could possibly recreate the steps that we've taken. So because it's a random roll of a dice, there is no real method behind it of finding the lines that we choose to pick our passwords. Now that we're done with this, we can come back to our dice list. Here it is. And then we're going to get the file number 16, which is the Turkish one. It looks like this. So it has a very long list of words. And we're going to find the line with this combination. So we're just going to do a search here for that particular number. And we've got 2 words that we can choose from, so you can pick whichever one takes your fancy. I quite like that second one, so I'm going to copy that, and that will be my first word of my master password. So it will be that word and then a dash. And I'm going to close that file, and now I need to go to file number 6. So we've got file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to use the French one, the French list now, and that one will use this combination. So I'm going to search for that combination, and again there are several words here that I can then pick, and I can pick the one that I like best. So écoutez, that looks good, I use that one, and again a dash. I can close that file, and then the last one would be the file number 12. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is the Polish one. Then I'll copy this number, search for this number in this file. And again, I can pick a word here that sort of takes my fancy. I use this one. So I can close my language file now. So, and with that, we've created a very long, yet after a few attempts, I would say easy to remember password. It's quite long, it's a bit of typing, but it is very strong. It's completely randomly chosen, and if we want, we can sort of see how secure potentially that password is, or how random it is. And there's another neat website that you can go to. If you search for password haystacks, you come to gsc.com. The gsc.com website looks a bit old school, but don't let that put you off. I recommend you also click this link here, the password haystack concept in 150 seconds. It gives you a bit of background on what this page does. So this isn't really a password strength meter, but if you have a randomly chosen password, then it gives you a good indication of how strong it is. So now what's the difference? You can imagine somebody might have a very long password, but that might actually be a very common one, so that a lot of people have somehow come up with that password here, monkey123. If we type that in here, you'll see it looks like it's not that bad really. It's got a fair amount of characters. You know, under certain scenarios it would take quite long to actually crack that password, but because it's a very common one, hackers would test that, or the software that hackers use will attempt this password almost immediately, and then they would get access immediately. Just because a password is long doesn't necessarily make it very strong, if you know, in certain scenarios. But our password, we've obviously chosen that at random, so let's give that a try. So we know this isn't the password that many other people will use, because it was created using a method that is completely random. So if you put that in here, you can see 21 lowercase characters, and even though we've got no numbers in there, we've got no uppercase letters in there, just to the sheer length of it, it's a very, very strong password. Like I said, not strictly speaking strong, because potentially thousands of other people could have used it, but this one we know, because of the method that we derived it from, it is a very good password. So this could be the only password you'll ever need. Obviously, you need to follow this process to create your own, then use that generated password to secure your 1Password application, and with that you're in a very good position as far as password security goes, because 1Password can create random passwords for you, one for each website. You never have to remember those anymore. What you do have to remember is your master password. So I hope this was useful. If you've got any questions, please feel free to comment either on the blog post or on the video, but you can also email me directly if you like. My email is Stefan with an F, Stefan@membermeister.com. Bye for now.